Alrighty, let's bring on the next game. There you go, Tekken 7. We're gonna have Rip.
That's right.
Have Reepal Parbu coming up.
And I'm not going to lie right now. Like, I am super hyped for this game right now.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier today, like, you were going on about Tekken.
So let me... Oh,
are you serious?
What the heck? Oh, my God. Okay, Rip is the best. Like, okay, like, seriously, okay.
What a video.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, you're not on the stream yet. You'll be there shortly.
There we go. There you go. I'm going to just do that while you are talking the whole time.
All right, dude. What are you doing? What's your angle?
At home, you know.
All right, hey, let's talk about Tekken. Players, storylines, and then I want to hear who is gonna win it.
All right. So the thing about Tekken this year, it's just this huge international invasion. I mean, we've had international players here the last couple of years, right? But this year is insane. There's like, I think, 20 plus Japanese and Korean entrants who are coming. On top of that, there's also a bunch of past EVO champions. So last year's EVO champion was, what the hell was it? Was it Saint? Saint won last year?
Yes. Even I knew that.
Sorry, hold on. Let me pull up my notes. Saint won last year. The previous year was Nobi. He's going to be here. Before that, in Tekken Tag 2, JCR won EVO. He's going to be here. 2013, Ni won EVO. He's going to be here. 2010, Nin, the guy who beat me in the grand finals, he's going to be here. So
wow.
Everyone is coming back.
Both of the people from the grand finals are going to be here, huh?
It's ridiculous. So the thing that's really crazy to me is that Tekken 7 has been at EVO for 2 years already, right? Mm-hmm. But it was Tekken 7.0 arcade version. Then it was Tekken 7 FR arcade version, which no one had experience against Akumi yet, so Punko bodied everybody. Mm-hmm. And so this year, I didn't expect the numbers to go up, but there's been a huge increase in entrants because the game finally is out for Americans.
Dude, there was even a giant crossover with Street Fighter V and Tekken players. A lot of Street Fighter V players are getting into this, and I mean, I'll just be the first to admit right now, I've been cracking out on this game. I have been, like, just obsessed with Tekken recently. So the game is fantastic. I love it so far.
But it does help to actually be able to play the game now, because I can kind of remember how to play and what matters and what I should look for. It actually really helps me just watch in the first place. So it's been nice.
Yeah, and so the thing that's really crazy to me is I think that this might be the first year that there is not an American in the top 8, just because there's so much international competition coming.
Wow. So
I hope that we can do it somehow, but it's not looking good. So let me just run down the players from Japan that are coming.
Well, hang on a second. Like, you don't think there's going to be, like, someone bringing, like, one of the console-exclusive characters, like, surprising people or, like, beating people?
And I guess I'm surprised because the game is finally accessible to not just American players, but people not in arcade scenes.
And didn't Speed Kicks, like, beat all the Koreans at Final Round? Wasn't it him who did that, or was it somebody else?
It wasn't Speed Kicks, it was Joey Fury and I think Spiro Jin. But I mean, it just happens, right? Like, American players have the capability to beat top Korean and Japanese players. However, I feel like with just so many of them here, it's really going to come down to brackets to whether even these top Asian guys can get past each other to make it to the top 8. So I feel like there's so many international players this time that there's a good chance that there will not be an American in the top 8. But I still got my fingers crossed for a couple of people, which I'll get to in a second.
Okay.
But just to run down really quick, so the Japanese players that are coming, Nobi, I mentioned, EVO 2015 champ, 5th last year. Take, he got top 4 at Rev Major recently, 7th last year at EVO. We got Pekosu, he's a King player. He got 5th in 2015. He's coming back. He's got this weird situation where his sponsor said they're going to fly him here, but if he doesn't make top 8, they're not flying him back home. So he's got to try. Then we've got you.
That guy needs a lawyer.
He needs a lawyer. He should hit you up.
Yo!
Of course, you know, we've got Tanukana, who everybody knows, but I don't think that she's like a real top 8 contender in this tournament. Even though she's super good, she's going to take out a lot of people. Other Japanese players I'm just going to run through is Taisei with Steve, Bots with Horang, Nishi with Fang, Kurokuro with Leo, who's come to multiple evolutions before, Chikurin with Jin Kazama, Jonah with Nina, and Manbo with Katarina, Kobure, and Lisa players. So there's just a ton of Japanese players, and I think any of these guys can beat an American player, regardless of the skill level of American player. They just have too much experience with the game so far.
Right.
And then on the Korean side of things, you've got JCR, of course, EVO 2014 champ, just won Revelator over knee, which was ridiculous. You know, the handshake felt around the world. He also won Combo Breaker. Then you've got Saint, who was last year's champion over knee. He just won CEO over JCR. And then, like I mentioned, the 2010 champ.
Well, Saint also won the King of the Iron Fist, right? Just recently.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That was some months ago now.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's crazy, right? Because he won EVO and then he won the King of Iron Fist tournament. The previous year, Nobi won EVO and then he won the King of Iron Fist. So it's kind of like maybe whoever wins this year will also win that. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Nin was the 2010 champ, Nee the 2013 champ, second last year, second in Rev Major. I feel like Nee's he's got to be feeling some tension now because he's got second at the last couple of events, and I feel like he's got to get first again to like really establish himself or reestablish himself. And then like you've got Kakoma, who's a Kazumi Dragunov. He was here last year. He, I think, beat Nobi, but he didn't make the top 8 somehow. Okay. You've got 200 Won, who is a Korean player who uses Anna, but Anna's not in this game. So he's going to bring out the console character Eliza, most likely, which should be really interesting, because I've been using her, and she's got some shenanigans, but I don't feel like she's a super solid character.
Okay.
So we'll see if he can make anything happen with them. And then the big rumor is that Kudans is coming back. And Kudans,
really?
He just did super well in a recent... I think it was a singles tournament exhibition kind of thing. I think he took out a knee over there. Okay, so he's still super good. He came out to EVO, I want to say, in 2007 or so, maybe 2006.
He was in one of my trailers.
I mean, he had like some kind of hand problems. So he switched to pad when he was here, but now I think his hands are good. He's playing on stick again. So he's about to body people again, I think.
Okay.
So hopefully he comes. And then as far as American players to watch out for, you've got Anakin. But last year he got like 52nd at EVO. So despite him like dominating all last year, he ended up losing to JDCR early. And then once he was in the loser bracket, he just kind of fell apart, lost the Weapon X. And so everyone's really shocked that he went out so early. And then you've also got Speed Kicks, as you guys mentioned. He's been placing really well everywhere. 7th last year at EVO. He's been training super hard for this. He's kind of the new school guy to look out for. He uses Horang. He's still unsponsored. So if people look for someone, Speed Kicks is a great pickup. Then Joey Fury and Spirojin, they're both ITS boys. They both took out some of the Koreans at final round this year, so they both have potential to do so again. Geesemaster last year, he was the American who somehow got in top 8 and then beat Nobi, and everyone's like, what the hell? Geesemaster just beat Nobi? So I don't know what's going to happen with Geesemaster. He's kind of a wild card. I feel like he might get top 8 again, or he might get juiced in the tournament. I have no idea. And then you've got Fab, who recently returned to competing. He became a dad recently. He's been retired for a couple years now, but he's sponsored now. But I think the team name might be Fabulous. I don't even know. I think it's Fab.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and so he got 5th at CEO. He
needs to find He needs to find 2 more Fabs so he could be the Fab 4, right? I mean...
Oh, jeez.
Just had a kid.
That's true. There you go. There's 1 extra Fab there. But anyways, continue.
Right, and then I think America's hope, of course, has got to be Mr. Naps. He was not at EVO last year. I think it was like his mom's 50th birthday or something, so he didn't come down. But this year he's coming, and if I were to bet if any American is going to make top 8, it's Mr. Naps. Okay, that's my bet right there. Okay. He's just too good. He's too good.
Before you move on, though, there's a couple of American players that I do want to ask about. Bronson Tran.
No. I want to hear about Insane Lee.
Insane Lee, yeah, Insane Lee. Tell us about Insane Lee.
Yeah.
Sure, I can tell you about Insane Lee. So obviously he's had this amazing run at NorCal Regionals. He didn't have to leave his house. He didn't have to go very far. He did really well there. He got first place. But the thing about Bronson Tran and Insane Lee, he just can't seem to win an Evolution tournament. Mm-hmm. So for decades now, it feels like, he's come to Evolution. He's gone home at second place. He's thrown his arcade stick off the stage after he's lost.
I remember that.
And it's finally caught up to him to the point that he doesn't want to come back anymore. So
true
that's
story.
As much as I know about Insane Lee.
True story. Like, every time I made an EVO trailer, somehow he was always featured getting bodied in it.
Yeah.
Every single time. But the second U.S. player that I really want to ask about is, other U.S. player is Rip. What about Rip? What's Rip's chances of making top 8?
Yeah, I heard he made grand finals a couple of times.
Yeah.
Rip has been around the EVO circuit, but that was I feel like it was a previous lifetime ago, and despite what this chair says, Rip is not currently sponsored, so he is open, and he may take out anybody in this tournament. Just saying.
Is he actually entering the tournament?
I am entering the tournament,
Oh.
but I feel like I have a lot of stuff going on at Evo in terms of like commentary schedule stuff going on. So I feel like I'm going to be bouncing around a lot. And I think it's really hard to focus at Evo like that. But at the same time, I really feel like I can beat anyone if I play against them. So it's just the first of two, and whatever happens, happens. So fingers crossed. I hope I do well.
I hope you do well too.
I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Any predictions? I want to know who wins. Who wins?
Oh man.
Who gets top 3?
All right. I think I would be shocked if JDCR and Knee were not in the top 8. Those guys just came off a ridiculously close, incredible set at Rev Major.
Right, before,
the handshake.
Yeah, before you move on, is there a history between those two guys?
There is definitely a history between those two guys. They don't really like each other. So last year, Saint was going against Knee in the grand finals, and Saint and JDCR are super homies, right? They're Echo Fox homies now. So Saint beat Knee last year, and JDCR jumped on stage. He was so happy, right? He jumped up and down 3 times. He jumped right back off the stage. He's like, "What am I doing? I didn't win the tournament." So that's how happy he was that his friend beat Knee, right?
Okay.
So I don't know what the original cause of that rift was between them, but obviously, there's still tons of mutual respect there. So when Rev Major happened and the grand finals was over, Knee went over and just like, "Hey man, let's shake hands." It's like boom, shake hands. It's like, oh shit, the crowd went crazy. You see Markman and Chase in the corner like, oh. So it's a good time. It's good times. It felt really good to watch just from home, and I think that there's a good chance that they will be in this top 8 for sure. Other guys I think will be in the top 8: Nobi, Saint, Nin, Take. Take is really interesting. I feel like he's always in the top 8, but he never wins. So I would be shocked if he's not in as well.
He's the Japanese Bronson Tran.
Insanely.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be one of those. But, Pekosu, I think, has a good chance of making it back again. Last year, it was really weird. Like, he made top 8 2 years ago, but last year, I think he lost to an Akuma or something, like, not even a really good Akuma. And then he kind of went on tilt and used Akuma against someone else or something like that. So, very strange situation. I think if he just sticks solid and uses King the whole way through, that he'll make top 8 again. And then my wildcard pick, I'm going to put Mr. Naps in the top 8 again. So,
sweet.
All right, that's 8. Crossed. But who among those 8 takes the tournament?
Who wins?
Give me the name.
Echo Fox, JDCR. JDCR gonna win Evo 2017, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Unless Rip beats him, he's gonna win the tournament.
Is he in your path? Have you checked out the brackets?
I think I got to get to grand finals, but
okay.
If Rip beats him, he's not gonna win the tournament, obviously.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. Factually.
All right. Well, final question. One more player I have to ask about, of course, is Mr. Eris himself. Is he entering? Do you know?
I heard he didn't sign up, but he pulled some Illuminati strings, and I think that I saw him on the fantasy bracket thing, and he's a whole $10 right now.
What? So, who would pay that much?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, as far as I know, he just plays Dark Souls and Demon Souls
and Resident Evil with
knives. Or something like that.
Yeah, and YouTube and Twitch. Those are his games.
Yeah, he's a full-time worker now. He doesn't have time to play video games anymore.
No, he has to spend all his time playing video games. He doesn't have time to play video games.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right,
that's it.
Hey,
that's Tekken.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Again, like I said, I am super excited this year. I've never understood Tekken more than I do now, and I'm really hyped to see how this is going to turn out. So,
same.
All right,
for sure.
Cool.
All right, bub. We'll see you in Vegas.
Later, boys.